Hey, how's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a video where I talk about my favorite childhood movies. Now, this has been one video that I've been wanting to do for a long time on my channel, and I'm basically just going to be talking about movies that, during my childhood, I would pretty much watch these movies all the time. Like when I was a kid, if I ever wanted to watch a really good movie, these would be the ones that I would pick out and watch. And, when I was a kid, I really didn't, I guess you could say I didn't get out as much as I should have when I was a kid. I would spend a lot of time in my room watching movies and, and collecting movies and stuff like that. So basically a lot of the movies that I'm going to be showing off are ones that I would watch over and over again. And I would watch some of these multiple times a week. So they pretty much became, I guess you could say they became a part of me in some way. They're the movies that if I think about great kids movies or great family films, these are usually the ones that I would pick out. And, as I've gotten older, I still have a soft spot for them. I'll still pick one of them out, from time to time and watch them and bring back some of those memories. I'm definitely going to be probably putting this into two parts because there are just so many movies that I watched as a kid, and it's going to be really hard to put them all in one video, so this will be a two-part video. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. The movies I'm mostly going to be talking about are more family-oriented or kid-oriented films. There may be a few sort of, I guess you could call them adult-type films thrown in there, but they're not anything like mature or whatever. They're just movies that appeal more to adults that I really enjoyed as a kid. I'm not going to be talking about any Christmas or holiday movies in this video, and I'm also not going to be talking about any cartoon or animated films. And that's because I do plan on doing a separate video where I talk about my favorite animated films. So without further ado, let's get into it. And the first two movies I'm going to be talking about, I've talked about these movies so many times on my channel, so I'm not going to get into a lot in this video, but it's Home Alone 1 and 2. I absolutely love these movies ever since I was a little kid. I definitely say that these are two of my absolute favorite films. I used to watch them all the time, over and over again, and now I watch them at every time around Christmas time. I know I said that I wasn't going to include any holiday movies in this video, but this is, even though these are two Christmas movies, these are also two movies that I would watch over and over again in any day of the year. So I guess this is the only exception. So Home Alone 1 and 2, two of my favorite films right here. And I know a lot of people, they don't like Home Alone 3. I actually do enjoy it for what it is. I like that they brought in I know a lot of people, they don't like that they brought in a different kid, but it's a lot better than them bringing in another kid to play Kevin like in the 4 film, So I like it how that they brought in a different kid and it was a different characters and a different story for Home Alone 3. Next movie I'm going to talk about is one that I've already done a review for, and it's My Girl. Absolutely great movie. Again, Macaulay Culkin stars in this one. And Anna Klumsky is in this one as well as Veda. And I remember I used to have this kind of a crush on her when I was really young, and I was about the same age as them. When I first saw this movie, I was about the same age as the characters. Also, you got Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis, just an absolute great movie. If you want to hear more about me talk about this film, just check out my review. I'll post it down below. But yeah, really great movie. And I also really do like the second one as well. Now, this is kind of one movie that you wouldn't see kids watch. This is one film that, if you guys have saw my Tornado video collection, you've seen this one, Twister. Now, next to the Home Alone movies, this is my favorite film of all time. Absolutely love this film. I don't know, it's one movie I grew up watching. It really helped, with me being obsessed or, have that huge fascination with tornadoes. This is one of the main reasons why is this film. And, like I said, this is not one movie that kids would watch, but it's still a really great film, in my opinion. I've heard so many reviews online saying that it's not good. Don't read the reviews. Just watch the movie and make a decision for yourself. But I personally love this film. Now, the next few movies are ones that I know are going to be on everybody's lists. And the first one is one movie that was my first. This was like my first type of small creature movie, you know, because back when I was younger, the only horror film I watched was like Child's Play. And that was the only real horror movie I watched when I was very, very young. And this was sort of like my sort of kind of a kids movie, but at the same time it had little creatures in it, and it had some spooky moments as a kid. Gremlins. I think everybody's seen this movie. It's a classic movie. It's probably one of the more popular little creature films. You know, them and Ghoulies are probably the most popular ones. I still have not seen any of the Ghoulies movies. But Gremlins, yeah, absolutely love this movie. I grew up with it, you know, and this is another, I guess you could say another holiday movie because it takes place during Christmas time. But this is one movie I can pretty much watch any day of the year and still really enjoy it. Next one is another one I'm not even going to get into because everyone has seen, The Goonies. Probably one of the best family films of all time. Definitely, this is a true classic movie. And when I was younger, of course, I mean, what kid that age didn't want to go out and find treasure, you know? I mean, like, how cool would that be? And, you know, I like the main kid, Mikey, and I think Chunk was another one of my favorite characters. Do the truffle shuffle. Now this next one is Matilda. I've talked about this one before. Another one that I think everyone has seen. Just a great story about, you know, a little girl who's not appreciated by her parents. They treat her really bad. Then she goes to school, and you know, the principal is so nasty and mean. And, you know, she uses her powers to make things better. It's an absolute great movie, a great family classic right here. Trying to get through these kind of fast because I have a lot to show off. The next one, Angels in the Outfield. Again, another one that I've done a review of, which I will also post down below. But this one is the first film that I watched with Christopher Lloyd in it. And I'm a huge fan of Christopher Lloyd. I think he's an amazing actor, one of my favorite ones. And yeah, this was really a great movie. Also the first movie I saw Danny Glover in, and I think I watched Who's the Boss before then, so, you know, Tony Danza's in this, but I think I saw him in the show Who's the Boss first. But, yeah, really great one. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's also in this. This is like one of his first films. Another movie that I've talked about is Casper. This, I guess you could say, is sort of a holiday Halloween type film, but again, one I can watch all the time. It's just a bigger adaptation of the story of Casper. I've had this movie on VHS for years, but I finally picked up the DVD like not too long ago. It's got some great features on it, and it's a really fun movie. Then we have Leave It to Beaver. Basically the movie based on the classics TV show. A lot of people hate this movie because it really doesn't have a lot of things to do with the original TV show. But the reason why I liked it is because, because I didn't grow up with the original TV show. I grew up with this movie. So when I watched the TV show, I was like, oh, that's probably why a lot of people don't like it, because it's so different. You know, this movie is really different from the TV show, but I still really enjoy it. Leave It to Beaver, the movie. The next one is more of a, I guess you could call it an adult film. Kind of, it's PG-13, but it's still a fun movie. I think that kids and families can also enjoy. The Addams Family movie, and this is a really good one. I think I've done videos on this movie as well, but basically it's just a really good adaptation of the original classic, you know, show, and it's one that I think it has a lot of purity and it has a lot of humor, and it really does have that feeling of the original show. And Christopher Lloyd plays Uncle Fester in this one, so that's another good reason. But yeah, again, really good movie. Another movie, Short Circuit. This is the movie about the robot number 5 who comes alive, and Ali Shetty's character sort of finds him, and he kind of falls in love with her because he's starting to feel human emotions. This is kind of like that one movie, that new movie coming out, Chappelle or something like that. It's that new movie with the robot, except for this one actually has a lot more heart, and it's not overly violent or anything. It's PG. It's a really good, I'd say it's a great family film, and this was a really emotional movie as well. I really like this one. Steve Guttenberg's in this one as well. Now this next one I hear a lot of people, they don't like because the second one was so terrible. But this movie was actually a decent movie, and it's Baby Geniuses. And I know a lot of people might say, why do you have this on your list? I personally enjoy this movie. I mean, I know it's not really a kid type film because there's some kind of mature stuff going on in it, but I think it's a pretty good, fun film, and I think it's one movie that, now that the second one came out, the Super Babies one, this one has been overshadowed, and people just don't even want to watch this one because the second one was so bad, but give this one a chance. I have not seen the second one, and I don't plan to, but give this first one a chance if you haven't done it yet. It's actually a pretty decent movie. Another really good one is Mouse Hunt, and this is a pretty funny one. Basically, Nathan Lane and Lee Evans, their father dies, and so they inherit this mansion that he used to own, and it's being inhabited by this mouse, and they want to sell it. And the mouse is causing all this trouble, and all this crazy stuff starts happening. Like there's one scene where they put all these mouse traps everywhere in this one room, and they end up getting locked in the room, and then they end up getting cut all the mouse traps all over them. It's a pretty funny movie. There's some parts in it that are kind of I guess overly slapstick and violent in some way, but it's still a pretty funny movie, and I definitely recommend this to anybody that definitely recommend this to people who have families. It's a good comedy. Well, I'll go ahead and show these two off. Next two I'm going to show off is Dennis the Menace. This is the first one, and Dennis the Menace Strikes Again. Now, I actually saw this one first, and I had a old rental store near me. I forget what it's called, but they had this tape there, and I got it, and I absolutely loved it. Both these movies are basically just adaptations of, the story of Dennis, the comic strip character, the little kid who's always, driving Mr. Wilson nuts and stuff, and there's different things going on. Like in the first one, Christopher Lloyd is in it as well, and he plays this this kind of like robber and bum type character, and he's wanted by the police, and Dennis, he kind of kidnaps Dennis, and Dennis just drives him crazy. And this one's also a really good one as well. I would definitely recommend both these. If you're a fan of the old comic strip, I recommend both Dennis films. And the last movie I'm going to talk about in this part is Homeward Bound 2. Now, I noticed some people might ask, why don't you have the first one? The main reason why is because I actually saw this one before I saw the original movie. I actually thought that this was the original movie. For something about the 2 right here, I thought it represented the Golden Gate Bridge in the background, and I thought that this was the first movie. I don't know. But, yeah, this is the main story about the 3, the 2 dogs and the cat. They're trying to get back home to their family. In this one, they get lost in San Francisco, and it's all the stuff that goes on with them. I really, really love this movie. I also really do enjoy the first one where they get lost in the woods. And another movie that I actually enjoy is this movie called The Incredible Journey, which is actually the entire adaptation of Homeward Bound. It's basically the first Homeward Bound movie, only I think it's British. I'm not sure about that, but the animals don't talk in that one. But it's just called The Incredible Journey, and then they made Homeward Bound The Incredible Journey, and Disney, made an adaptation of it where the animals talked and stuff. And this is the Homeward Bound 2, but I remember, growing up with this one a lot and watching this one a lot more because I didn't have a copy of the first one for a long time, and then I ended up seeing the first one and really enjoying it as well. But I think I prefer this one over the original. But anyway, guys, I went through a lot of movies, so yeah, I know I kind of sped through these, but I just had a lot of films I wanted to talk about in this video. So feel free to leave me, comments down below if you guys have seen any of the movies I talk about in this video. If you guys have any questions about these movies, definitely let me know. I do plan on doing a part 2 of this. I'll probably have it up right after this part. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Definitely let me know what you guys think about any of these movies. I'll leave links to my reviews on some of these films down below. And yeah, let me know what are some of your favorite family films. Anyway, thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys later.